Have you ever caught yourself staring into the mirror, wondering when the years pass so quickly? When did the skin start to sag just a little more? When did your energy begin to fade right after breakfast? Or when did the simple routine of getting ready in the morning start to feel like a chore? You're not alone. Aging brings change. And while some of those changes are part of the natural rhythm of life, others quietly sneak in and start affecting your health, sometimes without you even realizing it. But here's the truth. Many of the health issues that people associate with aging aren't just about getting older, they're about the habits we carry with us, especially the ones we overlook. That's why we need to talk about something that's often forgotten, even though it's right in front of us every single day: personal hygiene. Now I know you might be thinking, I've been brushing my teeth and bathing for over 6 decades. What could I possibly be doing wrong? But that's exactly it. It's the small things, the overlooked habits, the outdated routines, and the new needs of an aging body that make all the difference. And doctors, they notice them immediately, because these subtle hygiene mistakes, they can lead to bigger health problems if left unchecked. But here's the good news. These are easy to fix. With just a little awareness and a few simple changes, you can protect your health, restore your comfort, and even feel more confident in your own skin. So today, I want to gently walk you through some of the most common personal hygiene mistakes seniors tend to make and how to fix them. Not out of criticism, but out of care. Because you deserve to feel your best. You deserve to walk into each day feeling fresh, clean, and proud of how you care for yourself. Let's start with one of the most overlooked habits that affects your entire body: oral hygiene. I know it sounds basic. Brush twice a day, floss, rinse. We've heard it all our lives. But the reality is that as we age, our mouths change. Saliva production decreases, especially if you're on certain medications. Gums become more sensitive. Teeth may shift or loosen, and the result? A higher risk of infection, inflammation, and even heart disease. Yes, heart disease. Studies have shown that poor oral health in seniors is directly linked to cardiovascular issues, not to mention chronic bad breath, gum disease, and difficulties with eating. So what's the fix? Make sure your toothbrush is soft, bristled, and changed every 3 months. Switch to an electric toothbrush if arthritis or grip strength is an issue. Use fluoride toothpaste, and if you wear dentures, clean them daily, not just with water, but with a proper denture cleaner. And here's something many people forget: brush your tongue. That's where bacteria love to hide. And one more tip: schedule a dental visit at least twice a year. Even if you don't have many teeth left, your gums and oral tissues still need checking. A professional cleaning can remove plaque and catch issues before they become serious. Let's move to the next quiet culprit: skin hygiene. Your skin is your largest organ. It protects you, regulates temperature, and helps you feel the world around you. But as we grow older, it thins, loses moisture faster, and becomes more prone to irritation, rashes, or even infection. The mistake? Bathing too much or with the wrong products. I know bathing regularly seems like the healthy thing to do, but long hot showers or using harsh soaps can strip your skin of its natural oils, leading to dryness, cracking, and discomfort. And if the skin cracks, that opens the door to bacteria. Instead, try this: bathe every other day, instead of daily, unless you've been sweating heavily or there's a specific need. When you do bathe, use lukewarm water, not hot. Choose a fragrance-free moisturizing cleanser, not your old bar soap from decades ago. And after you get out, don't rub yourself dry with a towel. Pat your skin gently and apply a rich, fragrance-free moisturizer while your skin is still slightly damp. It locks in moisture and helps keep your skin smooth and protected. And don't forget those hidden areas. Under the breasts, between skin folds around the groin. These are spots where moisture builds up and can cause fungal infections if not properly cleaned and dried. Now let's talk about something you might not think of as hygiene, but it absolutely is: cleaning your mobility aids. Whether you use a cane walker, wheelchair, or even just orthopedic shoes or inserts, these tools are in constant contact with your skin, your hands, and sometimes your wounds or delicate areas. And what do many people do after they use them? They set them down. In the bathroom, on the floor, in public places. Then they pick them right back up and bring them close to the body again. You see the problem, don't you? Bacteria, viruses, and even mold can accumulate on mobility aids and contribute to skin infections, eye irritations, or even respiratory issues. Make it a habit to wipe down these tools regularly, at least once a week, or more often if you've been outside. A simple disinfectant wipe will do, and if you wear orthopedic shoes daily, rotate between 2 pairs and make sure to air them out and clean them weekly. Even socks, yes, clean socks every day. They matter more than you might think. A damp or sweaty sock trapped in a shoe for hours is a breeding ground for fungus and bacteria. And here's something else, something tender that we don't talk about enough: nail care. Yes, both fingernails and toenails. As we age, nails can thicken, become discolored, or even grow inward. If not trimmed properly, or if ignored entirely, they can break the skin, harbor bacteria, or lead to painful fungal infections. You might not notice a change immediately, but your doctor will. It starts small: a yellowing nail, an odd curve, a little tenderness when walking. Before long, it becomes a much bigger problem. That's why routine nail care is essential. Trim your nails regularly, straight across for toenails to avoid ingrown edges. Soften them beforehand by soaking your feet in warm water, and don't cut them too short. If you have trouble seeing your nails or reaching them, don't be embarrassed to ask for help. A podiatrist, nurse, or even a family member can assist. There's no shame in needing a little help. In fact, asking for help is one of the strongest, most courageous things you can do for your health. So far, we've talked about your mouth, your skin, your mobility aids, and your nails. Things that may seem small, but can have a deep impact on your health, your comfort, and your confidence. Each one is a step toward reclaiming your sense of wellness, dignity, and vitality. But there's more, because hygiene isn't just about cleaning the body, it's about protecting your whole self, and that includes what's happening inside your mind. So in the next part of this journey, I want to go deeper with you. We're going to explore how your mental clarity, memory, and mood are directly connected to your daily routine, and how simple changes can keep your mind sharp and your spirits lifted. Because staying clean isn't just about soap and water, it's about honoring yourself every day from the inside out. Let's talk about that next. You know, one of the most surprising things about aging isn't just how our bodies change, it's how our minds start to shift too. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you were there? Or tried to recall a name that used to come to you instantly, only to have it dangle just out of reach, like a word on the tip of your tongue? If you've noticed that lately, you're not alone. It happens to the best of us. But here's the important part. There are ways to strengthen your mind, just like you'd strengthen your muscles. And believe it or not, mental sharpness is deeply connected to personal hygiene. Think about it. When your mind is tired, foggy, or distracted, things slip. Maybe you forget to brush your teeth before bed, or you don't notice that your clothes haven't been changed in a few days. This isn't about neglect, it's about overload. The brain gets tired, but just like a garden needs tending, your mind does too. Let's pause here for a second, because this is where many people fall into the trap. They think forgetfulness is inevitable, that there's nothing they can do. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. Science and experience both show that our brains crave stimulation, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. The more we engage them, the sharper they stay, and the sharper your mind, the more in tune you'll be with your daily self-care routines. One of the simplest ways to strengthen your mind is by doing something new. Anything. It doesn't need to be complicated. Try brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Take a different route during your morning walk. Even small changes like these light up new neural pathways. You're literally training your brain to stay alert. Another powerful method: puzzles. Yes, those same crossword books or Sudoku challenges you see at the drugstore aren't just for fun. They're tools. Tools that keep the brain engaged, that help slow down cognitive decline. Pick up a daily puzzle habit. It's like weightlifting for the mind, and it pays off in the long run. Reading is another mental superpower. And no, you don't need to finish a novel in one sitting. Just 10 pages a day of anything that interests you. Fiction, history, even a magazine article, gives your brain something to chew on. It keeps your vocabulary active, your memory circuits engaged, and your focus in motion. And it has a bonus effect: it helps reduce stress. A calm mind is a clear mind, and a clear mind doesn't overlook hygiene habits. But here's something that often gets overlooked, perhaps even more important than all the brain games in the world: social connection. Yes, socializing is brain food. When you talk to people, you're engaging memory, remembering names, past stories, language skills, emotional intelligence, and listening. Whether it's a weekly phone call with an old friend, chatting with the clerk at the grocery store, or spending time with grandkids, those interactions are like fuel. They keep your spirit alive. And when your spirit is alive, you care more about yourself. You take better care of your body. You keep up with those little hygiene rituals that can easily fall to the wayside when you're feeling low or isolated. In fact, studies show that seniors who maintain strong social ties are less likely to experience rapid cognitive decline. So call a friend, join a book club, or volunteer at a local center. It's not just about being kind to others, it's about being kind to your future self. And let me share something else that might surprise you. Hygiene routines themselves help keep your mind sharp. Sounds strange, right? But think about the structure they bring. When you brush your teeth every morning at the same time, or you wash your face before bed, you're reinforcing a positive routine. You're giving your brain anchors, reliable moments it can trust each day. That's powerful, especially when other parts of life may feel unpredictable. Now, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, don't worry. The goal isn't to change everything overnight. It's to take one step, just one. Maybe tonight you decide to floss before bed, and tomorrow you try a brain teaser over coffee. That's it. One step becomes two becomes a rhythm. And before you know it, you're building not just better hygiene habits, but a sharper, more engaged mind. There's also something to be said for mindfulness. And no, I don't mean sitting in silence for hours with your legs crossed, unless that's your thing. Mindfulness can be as simple as paying attention. When you wash your hands, notice the temperature of the water, the scent of the soap, how your hands feel as you dry them. That's presence, that's awareness, and it rewires your brain to stay grounded and alert, which means you're less likely to forget things like medication, shaving, or even putting on clean clothes. Another trick that helps: keeping a hygiene calendar. It might sound silly, but jotting down simple things like change bed sheets, clip nails, or clean dentures gives your brain an easy checklist to follow. You're taking the guesswork out of daily living, and that mental clarity, it creates space for you to do more of what you love, without the nagging feeling that something's been forgotten. And if you ever find yourself in a bit of a fog, that's okay too. We all have days like that. The key is not to get stuck there. Give yourself grace, but also gently guide yourself back to your routines, back to the practices that make you feel good, clean, confident, capable. Remember, mental sharpness isn't about being perfect. It's about staying engaged. It's about choosing every day to show up for yourself. Not because you have to, but because you deserve to. And when your mind is clear and active, the rest follows. You notice when your fingernails need trimming. You catch that it's time to change into fresh clothes. You remember to brush, floss, and take care of your skin. Hygiene becomes less of a chore and more of an expression of self-love. So if you've been feeling a little foggy or just a bit off track, start here. Pick one small mental challenge today. Something that makes you think, that makes you smile, that reminds you you're still growing, still learning, still vibrant. And speaking of self-care, let's not forget, the mind is just one piece of the puzzle. Next, we're going to talk about something even more tender, something that often hides behind a quiet smile or a strong front: your emotional well-being. Because you can have a sharp mind and a healthy body, but if your heart feels heavy, if you're carrying around loneliness, sadness, or stress, it affects everything, even how you care for yourself. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how to stay emotionally strong, no matter what life throws at you. Let's pause for a moment and breathe, because now we're stepping into a tender, often unspoken space. Behind every hygiene habit, behind every skipped shower or unwashed shirt, there's something deeper. It's not always forgetfulness. It's not always fatigue. Sometimes it's emotion, and that emotion is powerful. Let me ask you this: have you ever woken up and just felt heavy, not physically, but emotionally, like a quiet fog over your heart? And in that moment, even the smallest tasks, brushing your hair, trimming your nails, feel like mountains. That right there is the hidden layer of hygiene most people don't talk about: emotional energy. When your heart is burdened, when your spirit feels dimmed, hygiene routines often begin to slip, and not because you don't care, but because somewhere deep down you're carrying invisible weight: loneliness, grief, anxiety, emptiness. These emotions don't announce themselves loudly. They whisper, they chip away at motivation, they convince you that the small things don't matter. But let me tell you something crucial: they do matter, and you matter. Doctors, the good ones, see it immediately. A patient who hasn't changed their clothes for a few days, who arrives to an appointment without their dentures or without deodorant. It's not judgment they feel, it's concern, because they know this isn't just about hygiene. It's a signal, a silent cry that something inside needs attention. So how do we rebuild that inner light? How do we restore emotional energy so that self-care feels natural again? We start with dignity. Dignity is not about pride. It's not about putting on a brave face. It's about honoring yourself, even in the quietest, most private moments. You see, hygiene is more than health. It's self-respect in action. When you wash your face each morning, when you put on clean socks or comb your hair, you're telling the world and yourself, I still matter. And that message echoes deep into the soul. But here's the challenge: emotional pain can make dignity feel distant. That's why we must create small rituals of kindness, rituals that anchor us to joy, even when joy feels out of reach. For example, put on music while you wash up, not just any music, but the songs that remind you of a younger you, the you that danced, laughed, sang in the kitchen. Music doesn't just fill a room, it stirs the spirit. Use scented lotions or soaps that feel luxurious. These little touches awaken the senses. They transform routine into care. It's not vanity, it's vitality. Open the windows. Let in light. The environment you care for reflects how you feel. And when you clean your space, even just a corner, you are gently telling your mind, I am not giving up. Now let's talk about something even more sacred: connection. One of the biggest emotional reasons hygiene declines in older adults is isolation. When you feel unseen, it's easy to forget that you still deserve to be seen. That's why reconnecting with people, even in the smallest ways, can reignite your self-worth. Call someone, anyone. It doesn't have to be a long call, just 5 minutes. Ask them how they're doing. Hear their voice. Let them hear yours. Join a group, even if it's online. Find a space where your voice matters, where someone would notice if you didn't show up one day. You see, when we feel connected, we feel alive. And when we feel alive, we want to care for ourselves again. And for those days when the world feels too heavy, when brushing your teeth or changing your clothes feels too hard, be gentle, but also be intentional. Say to yourself, this one act, this one small step, is how I honor myself today. Even if it's just a splash of water on your face or brushing your hair, that one act is enough to keep the fire burning, because that act leads to another and another, until slowly, steadily, you return to yourself. Here's something doctors also notice: those who retain emotional dignity often radiate a certain light, even if they're physically frail. That light doesn't come from perfect hygiene. It comes from the choice to care, the choice to love themselves, even in difficult seasons. So let's replace shame with pride. Let's replace guilt with grace. And let's remember, hygiene is not a task list, it's a mirror of the soul. When you tend to your body, you're saying to yourself, I am still here, I still matter, I still deserve love. That's the kind of energy no illness, no age, no sorrow can take from you. So if your heart's been heavy lately, if you've looked in the mirror and seen someone tired, someone faded, let this be your whisper of hope. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, and it's never too late to reclaim your dignity, one small beautiful act at a time. Now, with emotional strength in your corner, we shift into something very physical, and yet surprisingly, just as emotional, because next we're talking about something that touches your confidence, your relationships, and even your safety, your oral health. What you're about to learn might shock you and change the way you think about your smile forever. let's talk about something that can shape the way the world sees you, and more importantly, how you see yourself, your smile. It might sound small, but your oral health isn't just about fresh breath or white teeth. It's a reflection of your overall well-being, a gateway to your health, your dignity, and your connection to the world around you. You see, your mouth is the first place your body interacts with the world. It's where you taste, speak, and laugh. It's how you nourish yourself. But when oral hygiene slips, even a little, it can create ripples in your life. Doctors notice this right away. They've seen it all: cracked teeth, swollen gums, halitosis, bad breath, or the silent epidemic of gum disease. And what they know is this: oral health is directly tied to your overall health. Gum disease doesn't just affect your gums, it can lead to heart disease, diabetes, and other serious health problems. It can also silently affect your confidence and self-esteem. Let me share a story with you. There was a gentleman named Edward. He was 74 years old, sharp as a tack, but he was slowly withdrawing from social gatherings. He would decline family dinners, avoid smiling in photos, and even start talking less. His family couldn't understand why. But when his doctor took a closer look, it became clear his dental health had been neglected for years. His gums were inflamed, teeth were discolored, and he had a few that were loose. He didn't want to smile anymore, not because he didn't feel joy, but because he didn't feel proud of his smile. Edward's story is not unique. Many elderly people start to experience a decline in oral health, and unfortunately, they stop taking it seriously. Maybe it's because they think it's too late for improvement. Maybe it's because they don't have the energy or the motivation to keep up with brushing, flossing, or seeing the dentist regularly. But I'm here to tell you something crucial. It's never too late to take control of your oral health. Even small, consistent changes can have a profound impact on your health, confidence, and relationships. Let's talk about how to get started. 1. Brushing and flossing. Yes, it's basic, but it's the foundation of everything. Even if brushing feels like a chore, I want you to remember this: each stroke is an act of self-respect. It's a commitment to your well-being. The American Dental Association, ADA, recommends brushing for 2 minutes, twice a day, and flossing at least once. This is your first line of defense against plaque, cavities, and gum disease. But here's the thing: if you've been brushing the same way for years, it's time to check your technique. Use a soft, bristled brush. Avoid aggressive scrubbing. It can harm your gums. Gently brush in a circular motion. If you're not already, consider switching to an electric toothbrush. They're more effective in removing plaque and can even be easier to handle if your grip isn't as strong. And don't forget to floss. Even though flossing can seem like a hassle, it's one of the most important habits for preventing gum disease. Don't just floss between your teeth. Angle the floss to clean beneath your gum line. Think of it as a way of giving your gums the TLC they deserve. 2. Regular dentist visits. Prevention is better than cure. I know, visiting the dentist can seem daunting, but I want to reassure you. It's not just about dealing with cavities. Regular checkups help catch problems before they become big ones. They can spot early signs of gum disease, oral cancer, and even other health issues. Don't wait until it hurts. If you haven't seen your dentist in the past year, book an appointment today. Many dental offices offer senior discounts or payment plans, making it easier to stay on top of your oral health. And remember, when you walk into that dentist's office, you're not just doing it for your teeth. You're doing it for your whole self, because the health of your mouth affects your entire body. 3. Keeping your gums healthy. Gums are the unsung heroes of oral health. Did you know that your gums hold the key to your overall health? Healthy gums support your teeth, but if they're unhealthy, they can allow bacteria to enter your bloodstream. This can lead to inflammation and potentially serious conditions like heart disease or diabetes. To keep your gums in top shape, make sure you're using a fluoride toothpaste. Fluoride helps strengthen your teeth and protects your gums. Rinse with an antimicrobial mouthwash to kill bacteria and reduce plaque. It's an easy habit to build into your routine that can make all the difference. 4. Hydration and diet. Your mouth loves water. If you've noticed dry mouth or a decrease in saliva production, it could be because of medications or age-related changes. Saliva is your mouth's natural defense against plaque and bacteria. So keep your body hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. And speaking of hydration, your diet matters too. Foods rich in vitamin C, calcium and fiber like fruits, vegetables and leafy greens can help strengthen your teeth and gums. Stay away from sugary snacks and drinks as they can contribute to cavities and gum disease. 5. Mouth prosthetics and dentures. If you wear dentures, take extra care. For those who wear dentures, it's essential to clean them regularly and remove them at night to allow your gums to rest. Dentures need to be properly fitted to avoid irritation or infection. If you haven't had a professional checkup for your dentures in a while, it's a good idea to have them adjusted. They should feel comfortable, not cause pain. Remember, your dentures or implants should never replace your oral hygiene routine. Even if you wear dentures, brushing your gums, tongue, and the roof of your mouth is crucial for oral health. By now, you can see how intertwined your oral health is with your emotional and physical well-being. When you care for your mouth, you're sending a clear message to the world and yourself: I deserve to smile. And that message has power, not only to uplift you, but to transform the way others see you. Next, we're going to explore something that many don't think about until it's too late. But trust me, it's vital: your skin. Because skin health isn't just about how you look, it's about how you feel. It's the largest organ in your body, and yet, we often take it for granted. I'm talking about your skin. Your skin is the first thing people see. It tells a story about your lifestyle, your habits, and yes, even your health. But beyond the surface, your skin is your body's defense. It's the barrier between you and the world, protecting you from harmful bacteria, environmental damage, and even UV rays. However, as you age, your skin starts to change. It becomes thinner, drier, and more prone to wrinkles, age spots, and other imperfections. But here's the crucial part: aging skin doesn't mean neglecting your skin. In fact, now more than ever, it needs your attention. So why do doctors often notice elderly people's skin issues? Because skincare isn't just about looking good, it's about protecting your health. Let me tell you a story. Mary, a 68-year-old woman, had always taken pride in her appearance. But over the years, she noticed her skin starting to sag. Dry patches began to appear on her arms and legs. She even noticed bruising more easily. She thought it was just part of aging, but it wasn't. What Mary didn't realize was that her skin was becoming vulnerable to infection, injury, and even diseases like skin cancer. What she needed was to take a few proactive steps to nourish her skin and keep it protected. Let's break down the most common mistakes older adults make when it comes to skincare, and how you can correct them for a healthier, more youthful glow. 1. Ignoring sun protection. UV rays don't stop for age. One of the biggest mistakes older adults make is thinking they no longer need to worry about the sun. After all, it's not like you're spending hours at the beach, right? But here's the truth: UV rays don't take a break because you're older. In fact, exposure to the sun can still cause damage, even in small doses. It's what leads to those age spots, wrinkles, and skin thinning. And while you might have lived with sun exposure for years without issue, it can still catch up to you. Doctors recommend using a broad-spectrum sunscreen with at least SPF 30 every day, even on cloudy days. Apply it to all exposed skin, and don't forget areas like your neck, hands, and ears. Your skin needs that extra layer of protection. And if you're going to be outside for extended periods, reapply every 2 hours. Your skin will thank you. 2. Neglecting moisturization. Skin needs hydration, not just lotion. As you age, your skin produces less oil, which means it can become drier and more prone to irritation. But many people make the mistake of not moisturizing enough or using the wrong products. Instead of simply slapping on any lotion, opt for moisturizers that are rich in ingredients like ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin E. These ingredients help to lock in moisture and replenish your skin's natural barrier. It's also important to keep in mind that your face and body may have different moisturizing needs. Your face tends to be more sensitive, so use a lightweight, non-comedogenic product on your face, while you might want a thicker lotion for your hands, elbows, and knees. But here's the secret: moisturizing isn't just about what you apply topically. You need to hydrate from the inside out. Drink plenty of water throughout the day to help maintain your skin's elasticity and moisture. 3. Hot showers and harsh soaps. Hot water strips your skin. Hot showers are relaxing, aren't they? But here's the thing. Hot water can strip your skin of its natural oils. As your skin becomes thinner with age, it's even more important to preserve these oils. Overwashing with hot water can leave your skin dry, irritated, and vulnerable. What's the solution? Lukewarm water is your friend. It's gentle on your skin and won't cause it to lose essential moisture. Also, make sure you're using a gentle, fragrance-free soap or body wash that's formulated for dry or aging skin. 4. Skipping skin checkups. Your skin needs a doctor's eyes. As you age, your skin becomes more prone to irregularities. Moles, spots, and growths that were once harmless can become more problematic. The biggest mistake: ignoring them or assuming they're just part of getting older. Skin cancer is more common as we age, and it often presents itself as seemingly innocent changes in your skin. Maybe it's a mole that's become darker, a new growth, or something that's started to itch or bleed. If you notice any changes, don't wait. Get it checked out. Regular visits to a dermatologist for a full skin check can help catch issues early and give you peace of mind. If you have a family history of skin cancer, it's even more important to stay on top of these appointments. 5. Ignoring dry skin areas. Don't forget your hands, feet, and scalp. Your hands, feet, and scalp are often overlooked when it comes to skincare, but these areas are among the most vulnerable. They tend to dry out faster than other parts of your body, especially as you age. Your hands are constantly exposed to the elements and can easily become cracked, dry, and even painful. Use a thick, nourishing hand cream regularly, especially after washing your hands. And don't forget about your cuticles. Dry cuticles can lead to painful hangnails or infections. Your feet deserve attention too. Make sure you're moisturizing your feet and paying attention to calluses or cracks that can develop. If your feet are particularly dry, consider soaking them in warm water with Epsom salts, followed by a heavy-duty foot cream. And the scalp. If your scalp feels dry or itchy, don't ignore it. Dryness here can lead to flakes, dandruff, or even scalp conditions like eczema. A gentle moisturizing shampoo designed for dry scalps can help. Now, let me remind you, your skin is a reflection of your inner health. When you take care of it, you're not just protecting your appearance, you're caring for your body's largest and most important organ. Taking these steps will help you preserve your health and maintain that radiant confidence that comes with self-care. You deserve to feel good in your skin. Up next, we're diving into something that often gets overlooked until it's too late: hair care. Because hair, like your skin, tells a story, and it's important that story stays strong and healthy. Hair is more than just a physical feature. It's a part of your identity, and for many, it's tied to self-esteem and confidence. But as we age, hair tends to change in ways we might not expect. It might thin, lose its color, or become more brittle and dry. While these changes are a natural part of aging, it doesn't mean they can't be managed. In fact, hair care is one of the easiest ways to maintain a youthful, vibrant appearance. But here's where the issue lies. Many older adults aren't aware of the mistakes they make when it comes to hair care. And unfortunately, these mistakes often cause more harm than good, leading to further damage, unnecessary hair loss, and more frustration. Let's explore some of the most common hair care mistakes doctors see and how you can prevent or correct them. 1. Using harsh shampoos and conditioners. It's easy to grab the first shampoo bottle you see at the store, but if you're using products that contain harsh chemicals, your hair is paying the price. As we age, our hair becomes more fragile and susceptible to damage, and using the wrong products can lead to hair breakage, dryness, and even thinning. Doctors recommend switching to gentle sulfate-free shampoos and moisturizing conditioners that are specifically formulated for aging hair. These products help maintain your hair's natural oils without stripping them away, keeping your strands hydrated and nourished. Look for shampoos with ingredients like biotin, keratin, and vitamin E to support your hair's strength and elasticity. Remember, don't over-shampoo either. Washing your hair too frequently can lead to further dryness and irritation. Stick to washing your hair no more than 2 to 3 times a week unless it's necessary otherwise. 2. Overusing heat tools. While it's tempting to style your hair with blow dryers, straighteners, and curling irons, these heat tools can cause serious damage to aging hair. The heat can strip moisture and weaken hair strands, causing them to become brittle and prone to breakage. If you must use heat tools, always apply a heat protectant spray beforehand, and consider opting for a cooler setting on your blow dryer or curling iron to reduce the heat exposure. Additionally, try air drying your hair whenever possible or invest in a heatless styling method that avoids the risk of heat damage altogether. 3. Ignoring scalp health. One of the most overlooked areas of hair care is the scalp. A healthy scalp is the foundation for strong, vibrant hair. But as we age, the scalp can become drier and more prone to conditions like dandruff, itchiness, or even scalp infections. Here's the key. Treat your scalp like the skin on your face. Keep it clean and hydrated with a gentle, nourishing shampoo. Avoid using products with harsh alcohols, which can further dry out the scalp. Incorporating regular scalp massages can also help stimulate blood flow and promote healthier hair growth. Gently massaging your scalp with your fingertips for a few minutes daily will encourage circulation, which is important for keeping your hair follicles in top condition. 4. Tight hairstyles and overbrushing. Tight hairstyles like ponytails, braids, or buns might seem like a quick and easy way to manage your hair, but these styles can put unnecessary stress on your hair follicles and cause hair loss over time. In fact, wearing tight hairstyles for long periods can lead to a condition called traction alopecia, where hair begins to fall out due to constant tension. If you prefer to tie your hair back, make sure your hair is not pulled too tight. Use loose elastics and opt for styles that don't pull at your scalp. And when it comes to brushing, be gentle. Overbrushing can cause breakage, especially when your hair is dry or wet. Use a wide tooth comb or a brush with soft bristles to detangle your hair gently. Avoid brushing your hair too often. Once or twice a day should be sufficient. 5. Skipping regular haircuts. It might be tempting to skip haircuts when your hair is thinning, or you're not seeing the same volume as you once did. But in reality, regular trims are essential for keeping your hair looking healthy and preventing split ends. If you're dealing with thinning hair or changes in texture, a haircut can help add shape and volume. Talk to your hairstylist about styles that will work best for your hair type and face shape. A fresh cut can do wonders for your overall appearance and confidence. Don't avoid the salon. Regular trims will also help prevent your hair from looking scraggly or limp, especially if you're dealing with dry ends. 6. Using harsh hair dye. As your hair turns gray, you might consider coloring it to maintain your natural look. However, the chemicals in some hair dyes can be harsh on aging hair, leaving it more prone to damage, dryness, and even scalp irritation. If you want to cover up gray hair, opt for gentler, ammonia-free hair dyes that nourish your hair while providing coverage. You can also look into semi-permanent or vegetable-based dyes, which are much less damaging than traditional dyes. Additionally, keep in mind that over-dyeing your hair or using dye too frequently can weaken it over time. Instead, consider embracing your natural grays. You'd be surprised at how beautiful and dignified they can look. 7. Not addressing hair loss. Early hair loss is a common concern as we age, especially for men. However, many people wait too long to address the issue, which can make it harder to reverse or slow down the process. If you're experiencing noticeable thinning or hair loss, talk to your doctor or dermatologist about treatment options. There are medications, topical solutions, and even natural remedies that can help promote hair regrowth. In some cases, it might be a hormonal imbalance, so consulting a healthcare professional can give you valuable insights and recommendations for your situation. Hair is one of the easiest things to change, and by giving it the right care, you can keep it looking healthy and vibrant for years to come. So keep your scalp clean and healthy, avoid harsh chemicals and heat damage, and remember, your hair deserves love, care, and attention too. Now, as we move into the final part, we'll dive into the often overlooked but essential oral hygiene. Oral hygiene is one of the most important aspects of personal care, yet it's also one of the most neglected as we age. Dental issues can be more than just cosmetic. They can affect your overall health, your confidence, and even your quality of life. As we age, maintaining good oral hygiene becomes even more critical. Poor oral care can lead to gum disease, tooth loss, and even increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and respiratory infections. So why do many elderly individuals neglect their oral health? A variety of factors contribute, including physical limitations, lack of proper education, or even mental health challenges. But there are simple steps you can take to improve your oral hygiene, protect your teeth and gums, and preserve your smile for years to come. Let's dive into the common oral hygiene mistakes doctors see and how you can avoid them. 1. Not brushing enough or at all. It's easy to assume that brushing your teeth is something you can skip, especially as you get older. But brushing remains one of the most important steps in maintaining a healthy mouth. If you don't brush regularly, plaque and bacteria build up, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and bad breath. Doctors recommend brushing your teeth at least twice a day, once in the morning and once before bed. Use a soft bristled toothbrush and fluoride toothpaste to help prevent cavities and protect your enamel. If you have difficulty gripping a regular toothbrush due to arthritis or other mobility issues, there are electric toothbrushes that are much easier to use and just as effective at cleaning. Some models even have timers that ensure you brush for the recommended 2 minutes. Remember to replace your toothbrush every 3-4 months or sooner if the bristles start to wear down. 2. Not flossing. Daily flossing is one of the most commonly overlooked steps in oral hygiene. It might seem like an unnecessary task, but flossing is crucial for removing plaque and food particles stuck between your teeth that a toothbrush can't reach. Failing to floss regularly can lead to gum disease, cavities, and bad breath. Doctors recommend flossing at least once a day to keep your gums healthy and your smile clean. If traditional dental floss is hard to handle, there are other tools you can use, such as floss picks, interdental brushes, or water flossers. These alternatives can make flossing easier and more accessible for those with limited dexterity or mobility. 3. Ignoring regular dental checkups. Many elderly individuals put off going to the dentist, either because they don't want to deal with the hassle or they simply think they don't need to go. However, regular dental checkups are vital for identifying and addressing any potential issues early, before they become serious. Doctors recommend visiting your dentist at least once every 6 months for a routine cleaning and exam. Your dentist can check for early signs of gum disease, cavities, or even oral cancer. Plus, routine cleanings help remove plaque buildup and tartar that brushing and flossing can't tackle on their own. Skipping regular dental visits increases your risk for major oral health problems, so don't wait until something feels wrong. Make those checkups a priority. 4. Brushing too hard. You might think brushing harder will give you a better clean, but brushing too aggressively can actually damage your gums and tooth enamel. Over time, it can cause gum recession, tooth sensitivity, and even wear away the protective layers of your teeth. Instead, use gentle circular motions when brushing and choose a toothbrush with soft bristles. If you have sensitive gums or teeth, consider switching to a toothpaste designed for sensitive teeth. A good way to gauge your brushing technique is to ensure you're not applying too much pressure. Your gums shouldn't feel sore or bleed after brushing. 5. Not addressing dry mouth. As we age, we tend to produce less saliva, which can lead to a condition called dry mouth xerostomia. Saliva is essential for keeping your mouth moist and helping to wash away food particles and bacteria. Without enough saliva, your risk of tooth decay, gum disease, and bad breath increases. Dry mouth is especially common among those who take certain medications, as many medications list dry mouth as a side effect. If you're experiencing dry mouth, it's important to address it with your dentist. You can help alleviate dry mouth by drinking more water, using saliva substitutes, and chewing sugar-free gum or sucking on sugar-free lozenges to stimulate saliva production. Additionally, consider using a humidifier at night to keep moisture in the air. 6. Avoiding dentures or implants. For those who have lost teeth, avoiding dentures or dental implants is another common mistake. Not replacing missing teeth can make it difficult to chew properly and can lead to further oral issues, such as shifting teeth or bone loss in the jaw. Dentures are a good option for replacing missing teeth, and they can help restore your smile and your ability to eat comfortably. Dental implants, though more expensive, offer a more permanent solution and function like natural teeth. If you're hesitant about dentures or implants, consult with your dentist to explore your options. A dental professional can help you find the best solution for your needs and budget. 7. Using tobacco. Tobacco use is harmful at any age, but it's especially damaging to your oral health as you age. Smoking or chewing tobacco increases your risk of gum disease, tooth loss, bad breath, and oral cancer. Quitting smoking or using tobacco products is one of the best things you can do for your overall and oral health. If you're struggling to quit, talk to your doctor about resources and support that can help you kick the habit once and for all. Good oral hygiene isn't just about keeping your smile looking bright. It's about maintaining your overall health and quality of life. By brushing regularly, flossing daily, visiting the dentist, and addressing issues like dry mouth or missing teeth, you can protect your teeth and gums for years to come. And as you move forward with these tips, remember, your oral health is an investment in your overall well-being, and it's never too late to start taking better care of your teeth. With that, we've covered the 7 essential hygiene habits, but there's one more thing to remember. Aging is an opportunity to improve our routines and continue adapting for a healthier, happier life.